Madden 22 just released worldwide yesterday, and there's already a ton of things that need to be fixed. There's already a ton of issues. We already got our first small update a couple days before the official release with a quick hotfix patch to fix cover 2 zones, and it didn't even really make them that much better. But somehow EA has outdone themselves this year. They have more bugs at launch than they did last year, it seems like, and I didn't think that was even possible. And you know, last year I cut them a little slack. I said, hey, they got pulled out of the office in the middle of the development cycle, had to set up at home. There were probably going to be some more issues than years past, so I was like, you know what, it's kind of understandable in some ways, but this year, I don't really feel like that applies because they've been in this situation long enough now. They kind of got their rhythm going. They didn't get blindsided by something that was out of their control this year. And somehow, we're just back in this same boat where the game launches and it has a ton of bugs and problems. Now, of course, every game does have bugs at launch. That's just every game since the beginning of forever. But the amount of bugs that are starting to come out more and more by each day is just putting this game in a state where it seems like almost every mode has something that's really holding it back that needs to be addressed. And with the first big update scheduled to come probably within the next couple of weeks, there's a ton of things they need to fix, and I'm going to let you know here what you can be expecting, as I've been hearing things that are being worked on and things that are being fixed. But right now, the game, as usual at launch, is not in a very good state. I mean, franchise mode, as much as they did to make the mode better this year by adding back the old features that people wanted, there's still some bugs that have come along with that that's holding the entire mode back. Like, for example, a lot of people are playing games, winning the game, and then when they back out to the main screen, it's saying that they lost the game, which makes it pretty much pointless to play franchise mode if that's currently happening to you. I don't know if this is happening to everybody that's playing. I've definitely went into franchise mode for video purposes, and it didn't happen to me, so I don't think it's happening to everybody, but it seems like it's happening to a lot of people because I've seen this comment from more than enough people at this point to know that it's a pretty constant issue. Face of the franchises always has a ton of bugs. I covered it in my review. One of the worst parts about Madden, again, because not only is the mode itself not very good, but even the parts of it that you could maybe get some value out of it are pretty much gone because there's bugs that's holding that back too. If you want to be a quarterback in the mode, you can't do the drills because your receiver's disappearing from the field, and there's a ton of other visual bugs that completely just take you out of the game and make you want to turn it off. There's also a huge bug in the game right now centered around custom playbooks. You may have noticed this if you're an online regs head-to-head player. You may have loaded into a game and only had one team on the field. The other team would have been completely invisible. You would have played for maybe a play and then the whole game desyncs. This is a custom playbook glitch. So if anybody is using a custom playbook and loads into an online head-to-head game, it makes one of the entire teams disappear from the field. This even happened to me in a game when I tried to jump online and play a quick game to get a gameplay. My opponent had a custom playbook and it messed everything up and I got desynced from the game and couldn't even play. And at the time, I thought it was just a random bug, but then the more I looked into it and saw more complaints, it turns out that if you use custom playbooks right now in online head-to-head, it's going to cause a lot of problems. So I would definitely stay away from that until they fix that, but that's something that's definitely going to be addressed in the upcoming update. Zone coverage on next gen is just downright awful. I've talked about it on this channel the other day when I talked about the hotfix update. I talked about it in my review on this channel. I even did a short clip on my second channel. Hey, if you're not subscribed to the second channel, go check that out. It's mostly gameplay stuff, not news related, so if you're into Madden gameplay, check it out. But I did a short 1-minute video just showing how bad the zones are and how easy they are to abuse on next gen right now. And the hotfix only did minor changes to cover 2. It didn't do anything to address the deep zones that it keep getting run by, and it still didn't really address the deep zones for cover 2 entirely because they're still very easily to beat down the sideline for touchdowns. Even Ultimate Team isn't functioning properly. You've got people getting banned left and right, some of them who have done nothing wrong but are just trying to grind the terrible new XP system that takes forever and ever and ever to level up. So now people are just getting in there grinding, playing over and over to try to level their XP up so they can get the free rewards, and they're getting banned because the system thinks that they have a bot playing the games for them. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some people that have been doing that, and if you're doing that, then yeah, I can see why those people are banned, but there's tons of people who have actually done nothing wrong and continue to get banned. Now, last night, there was a glitch going around where people were getting tons of free packs that they weren't supposed to get, and it was just causing a complete ruckus throughout all of Ultimate Team to where they had to lock the auction house because the entire system was pretty much just going haywire and was literally just playing like Robin Hood and just giving people tons and tons and tons of free stuff. They had to close the entire auction house down for damn near 24 hours, and if you know anything about Ultimate Team, if the auction house is on lockdown, down, the mode can't really progress. You can't really do much in the mode without an active auction house. And in between all of these bigger issues, there's other smaller issues that might not be the biggest deal in the world, but when you pile them on top of all of these big things that are happening within every mode, it just makes the game not enjoyable for most people. So with the first big update coming in about 2 weeks, hey, maybe it even comes sooner at this point with all of the issues that are in the game, there's a ton of stuff they're gonna have to fix, and there's a ton of things they're gonna have to address. This is why a lot of people say it's usually best, if you're gonna get Madden, to get it after the first update, because pretty much with any game, especially these yearly games, I see it happen a lot with NBA 2K lately, I see it happen a lot with FIFA as well. That first month of the game, there's just more issues than there used to be in the past. There was always bugs, there was always something that needed to be addressed, but it would be like 1 or 2 major things that were concerning. Now, it's like 5 to 10 major things on top of all the other little things that are just always present in the game. So really, if you want to even have a chance to enjoy the game, a lot of times you gotta wait about a month for that first update to come through and address all of these big issues, and then by that time, usually you can find a quick early sale at the beginning of the NFL season and usually get it like $20–30 cheaper, so really, it's kind of a double win. But if you're like a lot of people, whether you're a content creator, you have to get the game early, or if you're someone that just wants to play the game and love the game, you get it day one, you gotta go through that first month of just total chaos because they just can't seem to release a game in a decent manner. I'm not saying they can't have a bug here or there, but when it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, it's just like, it just becomes laughable. It's like all you can do is laugh through the pain. So with the first coming update, franchise mode has a couple of things that need to be addressed. They need to fix the bug where teams are not getting credit for winning the game, but along with this, in that first big update will be the new scouting system, which a lot of people are waiting for. I think a lot of franchise mode players, if they were smart, were going to wait until that update to buy the game anyway, because if you already had a franchise going, you were going to have to restart it in order to get the new scouting system anyway, so it kind of made sense to wait. But those that are already playing, not only are they waiting for that now, but now they have to wait for these bugs to be fixed as well, so that's going to be kind of a big thing coming with franchise mode. Now the big question is the scouting system going to have bugs? Because this is just kind of the state we're at with this game, is that, hey, we know something that's supposed to be really nice and cool is coming. Is it going to work? Because all these other things that are coming into the game, some of them aren't working, and the game as a whole isn't working, so who's to say when the scouting system comes that that's going to work properly? Hopefully it does, but for franchise mode, those are kind of the two big things you can expect to come in that first big update. As far as face of the franchise goes, I think they might have cleared up some of those bugs in the hot fix. I'm honestly not 100% sure because they didn't put out patch notes on it, but if not, they're probably going to address them in that first big update. But I think the issue here with face of the franchise is this is a mode that a lot of people do actually play it, but I think it's very much so like a first month of the year type of mode for people. They play it to kind of get through the story, maybe play a couple seasons, and then they don't really return to the mode as much. It's kind of an early year mode, so if you gotta wait a month into the game for the mode to even work properly, I think for a lot of people it just kind of loses its luster and then they just lose interest in it altogether. The custom playbooks definitely is something they should be addressing in the first update, because custom playbooks are a huge part of Madden, especially for online regs head-to-head players. Not so much for Ultimate Team because you can't use custom books in Ultimate Team, but for online head-to-head regs, custom playbooks are kind of a staple feature in the game, and if they're not working properly, that's killing off a lot of the online head-to-head play, because if you can't load into a game with a custom playbook, I mean, yes, you can go use regular playbooks and play, but that shouldn't be the issue. You should be able to use a custom playbook, and that whole community of people that play that way, meaning online head-to-head regs versus playing in Ultimate Team, you can't have one of the biggest features of that mode not working, so expect that to be addressed in the first update. Zone coverage, honestly, I don't know. I would hope they're going to address zone coverage, but I've heard a lot of conflicting things about this, where some people say they're not expecting them to touch zones too early, they're going to wait and kind of just feel it out more. Some people are saying they absolutely have to address it because they're just too bad not to address it. Me, like I said in my review and in my video breaking down the zone coverage a couple days ago, I think the zones are intentional. I think they're purposely playing this bad because they're just too consistently bad across the board. It's not just versus 1 or 2, quote unquote glitchy plays. They're just bad across the board and it feels deliberate. My only thing is I don't understand why it's deliberate. Why have they chosen to have them playing and reacting this way? And when I'm hearing that it's not a top priority or something that they're necessarily looking into fixing with the first update. That's another thing that makes me think it's deliberate, because if it wasn't deliberate, this would be one of the top things on the list that you would need to get addressed. I just can't understand why they think it's okay for them to be playing this way if that's what they actually think. So there could be a chance that that comes in the first update, but I'm just saying that it also might not. There's also tons of server issues. I mean, I think we've just kind of come to expect that with Madden. Every year there's all these desync and server issues. But again, I think one of the main things that's causing these server issues right now is online regs head-to-head with the custom playbooks. And I think people are confusing the custom playbook glitch with just an all-out server glitch, because it does just disconnect you or desync you from the game. But I don't think this is an actual server issue. That's just a custom playbook issue. So if they fix that, then the desyncs and disconnects shouldn't really be happening as much on regular head-to-head. But when you talk about Ultimate Team, there's definitely been a lot of servers within inside Ultimate Team kicking people off the game. They're constantly having to lock out certain things to go back and fix it on the fly. There's been a ton of glitches and exploits already in Ultimate Team this year, and as soon as people try to take advantage of it, they're shutting everything down, they're banning people. It's just a mess right now, and all we want to do is just enjoy the only football game that's out there, and for a lot of people, we can't do that right now. So this first update is going to be very crucial for the remaining life of the game. Hopefully they deliver on it. Hopefully they can address all of these main bugs that are in the game. I'm sure new ones are going to pop up as they always do, but if they can knock out all of these major things right now, that would be a good first step to trying to enjoy and salvage the rest of the year. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you want to stay up to date with all the top Madden news, tips, and everything in between, make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on. I will see you guys next time.